Hello everyone, welcome back to Unmask. I hope you guys are good and that you've been taking care of yourselves. So today's episode, I've been trying to gather my thoughts. I think I'm just feeling a lot of energy. I'm nervous, but I'm also excited to be back to recording. But I just want to share something that's just been on my mind, I guess. But not really my mind, but something I've been actively trying to practice. You know about this, but I think I don't know, it's something that now is back in focus because of recent events. So the beginning of this month, I lost my granddad, and it's been a roller coaster since. Grief is blank. It's just just what's going on. It feels like a roller coaster. There are days where you're good, there's days where you're bad, and I've just been trying to really feel my emotions and let myself just express how I feel. And it's just been weird, hey? There are days where obviously it's you're going through the grief, and then being a woman, you still have those weeks where your hormones are doing what they're doing, and then you're just super emotional. So sometimes I don't know if it's me, if it's grief, if it's hormones. I'm just confused, I'm just irritated, I'm just sad, I'm just happy, I just want to laugh, I want to cry. What's going on? I'm just confused, but I'm here, and I'm really trying my best, and that's all that matters. I'm giving it my best and taking it by the day, every day. But I've been choosing to focus on the good things that I got from my granddad, because I was so sad. I had planned to record an episode with him, and I planned this in January, and I think what really hurt me is that I didn't even do it, and the lesson in that is if something really means that much to you, then just start where you are, bro. Because for me, I planned the episode, but it's just I didn't see him as often as I would have liked, and even the times that I did see him, they were really brief. And my granddad is old. He was old, 93 when he passed away. So usually when he comes over, we'll sit for a little bit and then he'll fall asleep, So I wasn't about to wake him up to be hey daddy, can we please record an episode for my podcast? And then he probably doesn't even know what a podcast is, and I have to explain it. But also my granddad was really smart, so it's not I have to break it down in weird terms and whatever. But yeah, just a lot of things happened, and I think I could have put in more effort in trying to make it happen. And instead of making myself feel bad about not having had that opportunity or creating that opportunity for myself, I've decided to just focus on the good things that I did share with him. What the hell? Sorry. The good things that I did share with him, and the lessons that I got from him. So this is something that I have actually spoken about in my podcast, and it's about gratitude. But I think now it's just something that I'm I just remember this about my granddad a lot, because he was so humble. And I think one thing that showed me how humble he was his ability to express gratitude for everything and the smallest things, and not have the sense of entitlement that most adults often do have. When children do things for you, it's it's an expectation, and so there's no need to thank them because they have to, they're children. But I think my granddad has never made me feel like that. It's he made me feel everything I do for him means so much, and for that reason I feel I never even needed a thank you. I think that's why I planned so many things, not just the podcast episode, but there were so many things that I wanted to share with him, because I just loved how it's he really did appreciate it, and I didn't mind doing things for him because of that. And I think that's something I want to also just really be more intentional about incorporating into my own life. And I feel I just want to, I hope that I can at least be able to express gratitude the way that he did, and be able to see the good things in my life the way that he did. I think if I can do that, man, my life would change so much, and I would even just be a better person. But like this reminded me of like what one of my friends had told me when she said I should ask God to show me the good so that I can be more grateful, you know. She was right. And now, like, seeing how that's what my granddad did. Like, he did that so well, like, effortlessly. I wish I had a video or something to just show, like, how he was able to see the good, like, the smallest things, and be able to express gratitude because of that. Like, if I could do that, I don't know, man, I'd be so happy, and I would feel like I've accomplished something. Anyway, the reason why this means so much to me is because I realize that, like, sometimes, dude, you can get stuck in this vicious cycle of complaining, and it gets so toxic that you end up even complaining about things that you once prayed for. Like, your blessings are now seeming like burdens, and it shouldn't be the case, you know. I think as people, we need to try and be more adaptable and understand that change is constant, and sometimes when we pray for things, they don't always come the way that we think they're gonna come, and that's okay, you know. But it's also like recognizing that you can do something about it, and if not, like, you can try and find people who can help you, and if not, maybe it's time to make a change. And that's not always easy. Like, most of the things that I discuss here, they're not easy, you know, but they are things that help us, and they are tried and true, like, I guess methods, things, theories, ideas. The point that I'm making is that most things in life are not easy, but they're very simple, you know. Like, to stop complaining, it's not easy, but I mean, it's stop complaining, you know. It's a simple concept, but it's a very complex one. And I think one way to tackle it is to be a solution-based person, and also remind yourself that you were the person, like, that you once wanted this, you know. And if you don't want that anymore, that's also fine. Like, give yourself grace. It's okay to change your mind, and things don't always have to stay the same. Like, if anything, life shows us all the time that things are always changing. Like, when you sit and observe nature, you see that, you know. And even with us as people, we never stay the same. We are constantly changing, you know. Today is the youngest I'll ever be, and today might be a terrible day, but tomorrow could be better. Or today might be an amazing day, and tomorrow might not, but that's okay, you know. It's just, I think now I've chosen to look for the little good in each and every day, even if I've had a completely terrible day. Like yesterday, I even tweeted how I had such a whack day. One of the reasons is that I had recorded an episode, and then the audio was just terrible, and I was just dealing with someone who was very rude to me and quite dismissive, and just really hurt my feelings. And a lot of things weren't going my way, but there are good things that happened that day. So my day didn't end up being as bad as it was, and even if it was like not a great day, there was still a lot of good things that happened in that day. Another example is, like, we had load shedding like so many times. I think we had load shedding from like 10 p.m. the night before, and we're supposed to come back at midnight. It came back at 2, and then we had load shedding again from 4 a.m., and the electricity only came back like at around 9 a.m. And then we had load shedding again at, what time was it? I don't know, but like, it was like during the day, I think, but like, and we had it in the evening, I think. Yes, it was like until 9. Then there was like a sort of like the morning one, it would have been 4 to 9. Then we had another one, and then in the evening it was from 8. I think it was supposed to be an 8 to 10 slot. And I was just like, oh, seriously, I can't even be productive because most of my day there hasn't been any electricity. And then my sleeping patterns were kind of messed up because I just woke up randomly at around half past 2 in the morning. Like, what? Yeah, it was around 2 in the morning, just before 2 actually, because I woke up, I had a phone call with one of my friends, and then I just decided to be a little productive. But then I was still able to wake up this morning at 6, and I still feel good. I could have been sitting and crying about, oh, this load shedding, I had to sleep at this time, but I'm fine. Like, I'm awake, I'm not tired, I am well rested, and I'm actually even recording the podcast that I couldn't even post yesterday. So everything is fine. And I'm saying all of this because sometimes we complain about the things that we prayed for. You apply for something and then you pray that you get it, you fast even. Some people even obviously do fast as a form of prayer, and you get that thing, and then when things don't go your way, you start complaining, and sometimes it's not the thing itself that's not going your way, it's other people that are associated with that thing. And maybe if you just find solutions on how to deal with those people, or talk to the right people and seek help, that you can resolve those problems. But sometimes we just want to complain, and some people don't even want solutions. And I think that for me, whenever I find myself in a space where I'm always complaining, especially about things that I prayed for, it makes me feel like such an ungrateful person, because it's there are people who are praying to be in this position that you're in, and right now it's uncomfortable, but it wasn't always like this, and it's not always going to be like that. How can I actually put myself in a better position? I think that's where my mind has shifted to now, rather than just trying to fight for my limitations and screaming about, of course my emotions are valid and how I feel, and whatever it is that I'm crying about is not something I'm making up. But I think it's important for me to look for solutions than it is for me to be to feel validated in the thing that I'm crying about. Sometimes I want the solution more than I want the validation, is the point that I'm trying to make. And I feel sometimes the thing that stops us is that people these days shame you for trying, which is so weird. I just feel we shouldn't wait for people to validate us, because you're the person who's going through your struggles, and if you're gonna listen to people who are gonna make you feel some type of way for trying to get yourself out of those situations, you're not gonna get out of those situations. Just, it's not easy, but silence those people and focus on you, because when you get to that place that you've been trying to get to, those are the people that are going to be asking you, how did you do this? And they want to know, they need your help, but they were the same people who were telling you that you're crazy, that were laughing at you, calling you names, or not even. Sometimes those people aren't real and they're all in your head. That's facts. Sometimes they are none of those people, and you are your biggest hater, or the voice in your head is your biggest hater. And that could also be linked to what I spoke about in my previous episode, self-sabotage. Your negative core beliefs are telling you that, hey man, there's no point, you don't deserve this, but you do. That's why you want this, and you do deserve this. Just do what you have to do to get that thing that you deserve, and prove to yourself that you can, and that you do deserve it, and that you can get that thing, and you're capable. It's studying as a student. Academic stress is ridiculous, and it feels like your lecturers hate you, but they don't. Those people are taking time out of their day to teach you what they know, and they even tell you can come to my office, and I'm not gonna say this about every lecturer, man. I'm just talking from my experience. I've seen that if you are willing to learn and you seek out the help, there are people that are willing to help you. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't want to have a conversation where I'm arguing with people about how some people don't like you and some people don't like their jobs, so they suck at it. That's true, that's real, but that's not everybody, and we shouldn't let those people stop us from trying and from doing the work and reaching out for help. I'm just saying that you're the person going through what you're going through. You know how uncomfortable it is. So if you're gonna let other people's opinions deter you from doing the thing that you want, maybe it doesn't even mean that much to you in the first place, And sometimes just be aware of the fact that there aren't people saying anything about you, dude. You are the person who is saying those things, and don't let yourself be the reason why. Like, don't hold yourself back, Don't be the reason why you didn't achieve your dreams because you thought other people would. So what if they do, Still go for it. People literally talk about this all the time, and it is easier said than done, but it is something that has been done, and there's so much evidence of it. And even I'm sure you can find evidence of you accomplishing things and achieving the things that you set out to do, even though they seemed impossible. I think just that's also a thing that we take for granted. We don't really look at how far we've come just as human beings, and it's I don't know, man, just look at yourself and look at your life, look for evidence and of the times when you overcame obstacles. Use that to fuel you and propel you forward, because it's not the first time you're faced with obstacles. Maybe the obstacle you're facing now, it's big and it's not something you've been through before, but you've been in that position before, where you felt I don't know how I'm gonna tackle this, and you overcame it. It's just about really taking the time to notice those things. One thing that really helps me with that has been reflecting in my journal. So if you guys would like, I can share some journaling prompts with you, and I just don't know where that would happen. I don't know if we should do Instagram, or if you guys would like to suggest a platform that could be used as the Unmasked community, where we can all share our unmasking journeys and experiences and lessons. I think that would be great, because I think there's a lot to be learned from other people as well. I don't think I've got it all figured out. I don't have anything figured out. I don't know anything. I'm just telling you my observations from what I've been doing in my life so far. But it doesn't make me an expert, at life. It's my first time doing this life thing, just like everybody else. So I'm open to learning and being taught new things. So yeah, guys, if you do have any suggestions, do hit me up on Instagram. I'll reply when I get the DMs. I think the only issue is I don't know if I'm the only person who gets this, but when you check your requests, sometimes they don't show what's new, and I don't know, it's really weird, because there was a time I went private. I went private on Instagram because someone was giving me hectic stalker vibes, but then I was this person could be following me already, and I went back to a normal public profile, and I was just flooded with DMs in my requests from years ago, dude. I mean, probably when I was late high school years, so that's for my 2015, years ago. I just got a lot of DMs from back then that I never even saw, so it was really weird, and I obviously wasn't gonna respond to those, but I just felt okay, why did this app do this? Anyway, just reach out to me, guys. Those of you who do reach out know that I do respond. Also, please note, as a disclaimer, I don't like texting. So when someone just greets me, I don't respond, because sometimes you get people on social media who are trying to sell you things. You'll say hey, they'll say hey, you'll say hey back, and then they're just trying to get you, recruit you for some stuff. I'm not interested in all of that. We can talk about Unmasked, and I'd love that. You can share some things, or suggest things, or I don't mind all of that. I don't mind having conversations with people. And I'm not saying we should only talk about Unmasked. I'm just saying that I don't ignore my DMs, unless you're being weird. That's it. But yeah, that was such a long rant to say you can talk to me on Instagram. But like, guys, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. I'm actually gonna drop screenshots of my Spotify Wrapped. It is actually so exciting to see like how well my podcast is actually doing, and I feel like now I want to really put in like more effort and to be consistent, and I would appreciate your help in doing that, because guys, it's a challenge for me to do this, but I really want to keep going. I literally had to ask one of my friends to check up on me to make sure that like I have recorded an episode so that this episode is up, because I realize that as much as I can, I do hold myself accountable for things. I'm not a superhero, and there are times where I need help. So this is me asking you guys who actually listen to my podcast for help, to help me remain consistent. And there are people who used to be like, yo, when you dropping again? And that does actually make me go, okay, people do want to hear me talk, and they do want to listen to what I have to say, and they also want to engage with me, and that's really nice. So yeah, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing my podcast. Thank you for coming back. Those of you who are new, I hope that you do find some sort of value from this podcast. I hope that you do return. I hope you stay and you follow my podcast and we grow together. I didn't think I'd be the person saying these things. But I'm really happy to be here. And I do look forward to seeing how this podcast grows and evolves, how this community grows, and how I grow, how I evolve, and just becoming me, more of me. It's and sharing that with you guys. I look forward to doing that. Yeah, thank you, and remember to keep giving yourself and others grace. Show yourself and others love. Do everything in love, for love, not for love, with love. Yes, do everything with love. And anyway, yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Take care. Stay safe. Chat soon.